In the past, we got used to seeing thousands of tonnes of electrical waste and batteries increasingly being dumped onto our landscape and into landfill, causing long-lasting damage. Even before electrical and electronic products are manufactured, their mining has a massive environmental footprint. Billions of tonnes of greenhouse gases are generated all over the world every year in the processing of rare earth minerals and chemicals needed for all these batteries and electrical goods. In one example, the mining of aluminium uses 20 times the amount of energy it takes to recycle the same amount. We could dramatically reduce this mining damage if we recycled all the aluminium, so electrical goods recycling makes a lot of sense. The EU's WEEE directive was introduced in 2005 to encourage just this. A few euro is added to the price of all new electrical goods to ultimately cover the costs of collection and recycling of this type of waste. Already, more than 60% of electrical waste is being collected every year. Most of this electrical waste is sent abroad for recycling, but we're finally beginning to find jobs in recycling at home. I visited the Rehab Recycle Centre in Tallght to see how we're finding ways to create employment at home by breathing new life into old electrical waste.
The main reuse element, part of the business that we do here, is with the IT sector and from the business community. We process approximately 15,000 items for reuse per annum in this facility, and we donate a lot of that equipment to schools and charities around the country.
And are these all in good condition?
Absolutely. We have a minimum spec. We send equipment that has a good remaining life in it, a good 3 to 4 more years of usable and functionality left in the piece of equipment.
And are these going to be energy efficient? Because
Absolutely.
The older appliances can be very wasteful in energy.
Absolutely. The minimum spec would mean the machine would be no more than 3 years old, and it would, if it had a rating on it, it would be as close to the A rating machines as you could get today. So the machines that people receive from us, either through donation or sale, are high spec machines. We have PC heaven for the rest of the machines. As well as bringing old electronics back to life, the Rehab Centre extracts a lot of the valuable metal that would have previously gone straight into landfills. We take the material that is in lots of large skips and out the back of retailers, and we put them all into nice little segregated families so that it can be moved on to other recycling facilities. If it's a washing machine, we depollute that and we take out the capacitors and the motors so it can be turned back into raw material for manufacturing again. The main focus of employment here is reuse. It is the greatest employment opportunity in the waste electrical world that exists. For every tonne of material that we send out here, we're creating approximately 30 jobs. As consumption of electrical goods increases year on year, it's impressive to see real dents being made in the wasteful cycle between consumer and landfill. So how representative is this recycling centre of a growing move towards fully recycling our hazardous waste?
Yes, I think this is a good example of how we're seeing a change where we started with disposal some time ago and then we moved and got comfortable with recycling. Now we're taking it to the next step further where we're really driving a resource back out of waste. So not just diverting things from landfill, but actually seeing it as a real valuable resource again.
What would have happened with this before?
Well, originally, I guess disposal was its original route, and then recycling, maybe things just been sent off with no great thought as to what was in a container, whereas now there's a real effort being made to draw out the valuable components, to reuse the materials that are in it and things like that. So it's kind of adding a little layer of intelligence, I suppose, to the recycling process.
So besides research in this area, what sort of other research are you involved in?
Well, the work that we carry out here, that we're funding here with the University of Limerick and Rehab, is part of a larger programme of work looking at the general area of environmental technologies. The programme is called Strive. It started in 2007 and will run 2013.
So if we're going to see a lot of jobs in the green economy, is this sort of research that you're talking about paramount to this?
Absolutely. This is sort of the foundation, if you like. These are where the ideas have been generated. This is where they've been trialled out maybe on a small scale. With a little bit of protection maybe from government bodies and a little bit of public money. So that if things look like they're going in the right direction, they can be taken up by business and you'll see them getting bigger. This is all the bedrock that a future sort of larger economy can be built on.
Seeing all the batteries Martin had collected in the warehouse got me thinking further about recycling. Most of us have no idea how many batteries we actually have in our home. And if you have children, you definitely don't. I decided to do a bit of research and the Pilo family have volunteered to help me find out more.
You're welcome.
Well, Sarah, how many children have you got?
I've got 3 girls.
What sort of age?
I've got Clive, who's 9, Saoirse, who's 11, and Sunniva, who's 3.
So thanks for helping us out with this. And I want to set a little challenge.
Okay.
The challenge is for the kids to go round the house, see whatever gadgets there are that have batteries in them.
Okay, sounds good.
Batteries in the wheel now. Batteries, but I think that's all I have in my room that has batteries.
So how many batteries have you got?
I have 2.
2, Sunniva. You've got 2. What about you, Si?
I have 2, Mummy. 16.
16 and 13, 29. And then all of these things here. You've got 4 in this, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another 10. So probably 35 in that order.
That's a lot.
Which, well, yeah, but I'm surprised, amazing. But the average actually is 25. So really shows that we do collect a lot of batteries. We import an incredible 3,000 tonnes of batteries into Ireland every year. Needlessly throwing them into our black bins is an awful waste and damage when we could be recycling them all.
OK, very good.
The ERP was established to ensure effective implementation of the WEEE Directive, and I met with the General Manager for Ireland to see what happens to all our waste batteries.
Prior to 2008, unfortunately, the majority of these batteries were sent to landfill. And I think since 2008, the most important thing that's happened is that we have expanded the collection network and we made it very, very easy for people to recycle the batteries responsibly. We've established collection points throughout the country at retail outlets. So we're talking about convenience stores, supermarkets, etc. We've also rolled out the programme to workplaces and, in fact, to schools.
So by recycling these batteries, they go from a waste to a resource. But what happens to them? Where do they go to?
What happens is when the batteries are collected, they are sorted by chemistry, and then they are sent off for further processing. And when they're recycled, the precious materials are recovered from them. So what you've done is, by recycling responsibly, you've converted waste into a resource. Even the outer casings of the batteries can be used and sent off to steel plants.
We're still putting a lot of our batteries into landfill. 4/5, I think, are still going into our black bins.
That's correct, Duncan. And I think if people just stop and think about what they're doing with the batteries, and instead of placing them in the black bins, which are destined for landfill, if they can present them for recycling at any retailer, civic community site like we're here at today, workplace or schools, they will be making a very, very positive contribution. So by making that simple step of not putting these batteries in the black bin, they are contributing to and making a very, very positive contribution to the environment.